Hey everybody. So, good morning from Growing Monarch Homestead. I am gathering eggs. Yesterday was the first day that all 6 of my hens laid all 6 eggs. So I collected them. I'm going to hatch them out for my next round of replacement hens. You want to kind of stagger that so that when these hens start going off lay, because they get older, you have another set of hens. I did sell down some of my hens because I had too many eggs, but there's going to be quite a period of time between them maturing to laying age, so I should be fine. Also, more than likely I will be finding new homes for some of these eggs, or some of these chicks, possibly pullets. Anyway, it might be an income stream for our homestead. So I'm setting up my incubator. It's been a while since I've used it, refreshing myself with the manual, and I just wanted to show you what I was doing. So I do like this incubator. It does take a while to get yourself, allocated to it and understanding the ins and outs. And like I said, you do need to go in and just kind of refresh your memory after a while. And I cheat and I write with a Sharpie on here. Exactly temperatures, changes, candling times, humidity points, that kind of thing. So I do have it plugged in to start getting warm. This is about 24 hours before you want to put your eggs in, that you want to make sure that your humidity is right, your temperature is right, all of that good stuff. So I have learned that, I'm going to move my candler out of the way there to make sure that was working. There is a hole in, I gotta remember where it is, in this incubator, okay, on the side. You're supposed to put this bottle in to refill the incubator. Now, some people will use, it's back here on this back side. Some people will use a sponge until the chicks are hatched. I've never tried that before, but I have learned, and I don't know why it is, why would they put this on the backside? You're not supposed to be moving this around a lot when the eggs are in there. The only time you really want them moving around is when the turner is moving it. But I have noticed that when I put the bottle in and I fill in the back, well, number one, the bottle's leaking like a sieve. But I found that it seemed like it was leaking out of the bottom somewhere. And I don't know if that was because I had it on an unstable surface, if I overfilled, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try this again. This is a fairly level area over here in the living room. I want it somewhere where I can keep an eye on it. And it just leaked a little bit from the bottom, so I will dry that up just to make sure that when I'm monitoring it, to make sure that it's not leaking. Pardon me for stepping away. There's always something I don't have on hand. I have to go get it. So that's cleaned up. I also wanted to make you aware of the fact that when your chicks in these incubators hatch, especially this design, and you're going to be taking your trays out, your turning trays. Let me show you those. See these turning trays here. Some models don't have them and you have to physically turn them yourself. But when you take those out, there are gaps on the sides. And those baby chicks will get themselves stuck down in there. I lost one because of that. So my husband cut some plastic, I don't even know what you call these things. He just had it on hand because it wouldn't be a problem with heat and moisture. And I've already placed the 2 on the sides to block these openings. See these little openings here, here, and here, and there is some back here too. Those baby chicks, they can't get caught here really, but I mean, look how big that hole is. A baby chick can get in there, no problem. I've had them go all the way down to the bottom. Now, whether they're seeking water or just being curious, or they just really don't have their bearings at that point, they get stuck down in there and they can die. So he designed these so that when they are hatched and these are removed, and they're hatching and you're turning them by hand near the end, because you really don't want to be opening this too much. you are blocking them from getting down in those holes and getting stuck. Like this corner here, and this corner over here, I may have him trim one of these so I can just fit right there in that corner. So before I get the chicks in there. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I've got 6 eggs to put in, but I'm going to take from the hens today, see what they give me. I may be a little off because they don't always lay every single day. But he has definitely been, Admiral's definitely been interested in the girls, and they've been very cooperative. No one's been abused. So I've got 6 here. As soon as this gets up to temperature, like I said, it's usually about 24 hours. I'll hopefully have roughly a dozen by the time that comes. And I will start putting them in, and we'll monitor their progress. And I'll show you how it works when we get to day 5. I will candle them, make sure they're all viable. Then we'll check it again at the designated time. And I'll let you know how things are going with the baby chicks that I'm going to be hatching. So I think that's kind of exciting. It's always fun when you're new life, you know, always fun. I have a blast with that. So I've got my book to remind me of anything I need to remember. Always keep those. And I've got my candler. I may be going out and getting, I did find it beneficial. The other thing is I was told that the humidity and temperature controls that are built into these machines, because you're opening this up, and when you add water and any changes to the environment, you know, this vent up here, sometimes I might even place a towel over this because there's always gaps, and you don't want any kind of, you know, draft around them. It's just like when you've got your baby chicks in your brooder, same kind of thing. Mom does get off the nest, but that nest stays fairly warm, and there usually isn't a lot of draft because you're trying to simulate that mama hen. So there's different things that can throw off the gauge. So last time I did get a small humidity and temperature gauge, and I did lay it in there, and it pretty much stayed in there the whole time. Of course, when the baby chicks got hatched, they thought it was the coolest thing in the world and had to go laying on it and messing all over it and stuff. But there's only a couple days that they're in there after they hatch before you put them in the brooder. So anyway, I may be picking up one of those, but for now, we're going on this. We'll see what kind of temperature we get our humidity balanced out. I need 70 to 72 to start, so we'll keep an eye on it. So it's been a busy afternoon. I've been out on the tractor. I have not been able to video because I'm just I have to concentrate a lot when I'm on the tractor. So I don't even try to tape when I'm on the tractor. And I haven't figured out how to use the increase speed deal. No, you're not going anywhere. On the GoPro. So it just takes up a lot of space, and it takes a long time for things to upload anyway, as it is. So I'm just going to take you on a little tour and show you what I did, because it's supposed to rain and I didn't want to get wet. My plants inside under the grow lights need water, so we're going to do that on the way back. So I moved the dog's little area for now until we get some fencing up, and I did a poop run, and I graded the kitchen garden area. Now you see mounds to the right. That's because that deck is staying and the stairs is coming over to this side. I measured it out. I foot measured it out. It's going to be 20 deep by 15 long. 20 feet this way. No, 20 feet this way. I'm gonna have to, because that looks longer. I think it actually is 20 by 20, come to think of it. But I will measure that again. I moved the chickens' fence, and they get some scratch, so they're happy. I dragged the hose up there and gave the other garden some water, where I have potatoes, onions, green beans, and corn planted right now. I am Haven't been able to get up there and get the pumpkins seeds in the ground up there yet. This is probably going to have to wait until we can get the pallet fencing around at least that side, this side, and part of this side, and then I'll just walk in this way where the stairs are going to be. Let's see, I tried my hand at cleaning out gutters and I gave up because that's scary, man. So I don't know if that'll get done today or not. I'm hoping, because a couple days of rain, and it would be nice to know if those gutters are going to work and we're not going to have so much sludge up against the house. That would be nice to know. Covered the tractor, put it to bed. I graded this a little bit, hand graded it. Found a couple boards in the process. I brought the blueberries and the figs out. Here comes the nice male lady, driving like a demon. She's crazy, man. She always has packages for me. I don't think I have packages today. She does love to see the doggies. I'm back. I was afraid the mail lady was coming up here, but she didn't, so no packages for me today. Anyway, that's okay. So I've got a couple of the jugs that I save apple cider vinegar and make my magic water for my baby chicks. So I'm using that to bottom fill water my trays. That is how I do it. It's always worked. I do not have my domes, which worries me a little bit because it's not going to hold the moisture in. So I'm really, really, really watching the moisture level on these seeds. So far I have squash and zucchini. I have sugar baby watermelon, which I had no luck with last year. I'm hoping. Those are going to go out in the garden on the way out with the pumpkins. I've got onions, cucumbers, and leeks, and I think this one back here also is squash. And this one was a few pepper seeds that I had, so that's what those are. And I had bought that cabbage plant, remember, at the nursery in Lexington, close to where we live. And I did some more tidying back here behind me. Let me flip the light on real quick so you can see a little better. Trying to work it to the point where there's nothing on the floor. Now, he's going to fix the battery tonight, hopefully. I poured some crud on it. I was supposed to clean it. I don't know. What do I know? So I got most of the stuff up off of the ground. This is it. I'm maxed. I have some room underneath there, but I don't trust that shelf. I think I'm going to have Carrie cut that shelf off under there to that one board. I just don't trust it. It doesn't look too good. So we've got to put the plucker somewhere else, which will probably be in the carport. The drum of straw for the chickens, I'm going to get that out of here. And this drum has one bag of feed, which can probably fit in the food grade barrel outside by the chickens. It's waterproof. So, and then we will have to move this barrel. Normally, I believe we used this barrel for pig feed and kept it under shelter because it's food grade also, but it was underneath shelter, so that's where we kept their feed. But if we're going to be soaking feed, that shouldn't be a big deal. So that will probably have to go onto the carport too. So I've got 1, 2, 3 things to go under the carport. I've got plywood over here that needs to be moved into the shop, and I've got his workbench over here that needs to go in the shop. So I'm assuming that probably once this tractor is this lawnmower is fixed, it's going to go to our old property and stay there for mowing there. So that will be gone. And then we'll only have the other lawnmower, which is in process of, hopefully cross your fingers, being welded with some sort of, I don't know what they're going to do. They talked about it. They're going to try something. So once that gets fixed and the bagger comes back, then it will be coming back today on the trailer. And I'm assuming that, looking at my carport, that more than likely, once we get rid of all this cardboard and the trash, and the deck is back on the other lawnmower, and all the bagging components are back on it, we'll have this moved into his workshop with the saw. So that'll be gone. This will all be less here. The motorcycle will turn around and face out. The smoker and the grill will go back there. And then we'll park the other lawnmower, riding lawnmower here for now. And that should work. And then I can take those drums and put them down that alleyway there, out of the way. Cool beans, that's what I'm thinking. And then it's all about the grading. So then I'll be getting in there. And Carrie's also supposed to get me some seed trays to plant the other seeds that I do have. I have some on order. I didn't have all the tomatoes that I normally do. So I will be planting out the rest of my seeds, working out some of the dirt that I've kept in this trash can from the old property. All this should be cleared out. I could probably cut that out. I don't know that, but then I have to get along the bottom, cut all that insulation down. Then I have to get rid of these mats and just rake everything out and get it as level as I possibly can. I'll fill in any holes that I have that are really deep with a bag of sand that I have. Then I'm gonna roll out my 6 mil plastic. Actually, no, I'm not. I have to dig a trench. First I have to dig a trench and lay a drain pipe in there with an elbow and a drain cap and cover that over. Then everything is level. Then I can roll out my mill. And he wants us to put a level line, something for him to go by on the walls. So I'll be doing that, and then I'll make the phone call. And once I make the phone call, he's gonna be out here, and they're gonna be putting in concrete in this shed, which is going to be totally awesome. And then we'll come back after that, once that's cured and dried, and put up our petitions for the baby animals, cover up anything that's they shouldn't be exposed to, like wiring and that kind of thing, and maybe finish up a little bit of the of what's up there. See, there's some insulation up there. Cover that over and insulate this a little bit better. It's possible. I'm gonna ask Carrie. We have this recirculator that was in our tiny house, and we took it out because it was just invasive and it didn't seem like it did any more than just opening windows. It was kind of an experiment on the company's part, but I'm wondering if we got that installed in here and cut a hole up there and mounted it right up there, we could potentially pull air out and back in to this room and keep things circulated, which would feasibly, in the heat, keep it cooler in here, and in the cold, keep it less damp in here. That's what I'm hoping, especially since it'll be high. It won't cause us so much on the draft side. So I'm gonna talk to Carrie about that, see what he thinks about that. But that can be down the road because we got summer coming up, and you know, I can get by with a couple of box fans. But man, that would be awesome if we could utilize that way. So that's that here. I've got to go in, fill up my jugs with water, and come out and bottom water my plants or my seeds. And then I'm going to go in, and we are having leftovers tonight, folks. Not going to be too fancy. So I'm going to call it on this, and we'll update you tomorrow on the status of the lawnmowers. Y'all have a wonderful day. Blessings to you. Stay safe. And thanks for watching.